bunch. Hello, everybody. All right. I forgot to bring a beer. Oh, no. Gosh. That's no good. That's okay. We accept tea around here anyway. All right. What was I doing? Oh, that's an Ethan adventure. Oh, this is my adventure. Here we go. Nice, nice, nice. All right. We'll get playing and we'll load. All right. Emotional support husband's gonna go ahead and make us a nice stiff cocktail, so that's gonna be fun. And we'll see who comes. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? I hope so. I hope everybody's doing good. Alright. Oh, right. Yep. Grab some cocktails. Alright, here we go. I'm ready to go. Here we go. Oh, boy. Everybody have a good week. See how many people come, show up. Look at my baby slimes. Yeah! I know they look so cute. I love them. I love them. I love them so much. These are my cute babies. Yeah, I gotta figure out. So I was using them to talk about genetics. Because I'm such a freaking nerd. Last time. But we're not gonna talk about genetics this time. Nope. Unless somebody really wants to. Then we will. I mean, I'm not a hardliner or anything. Ugh. I thought I had another garden. Who's over here? There's nobody in here. What? Now I'm just confused. Yes, I did call him emotional support husband. That's his name. Clues! Yay, you're here! Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, no. Oh no! Oh, my sad tabbies. Okay, look at this. This is where the chickens are. I'd be nervous if I were chickens. Oh, yes, I would be very nervous. Oh, I don't have any money. Yeah, that's no good. Oh, man. I can't feed my slimes if I have no money. Too bad these don't work at all. Oh, no. We're in trouble. Okay. Yeah, emotional support husband is the one that makes all the cocktails and, you know, is good at stuff. Oh yeah, I was gonna get, oh no, now I've given the beats away. Crap, see, this is what happens when I don't pay attention to anything. Oh crud, alright. No, I was going to talk about plant tumors today. Yeah, because most people don't realize plants get tumors, you know. Also, most people don't realize that they have immune systems either, or, you know, can, you know, see or, you know, in their way. I mean, it's not... Ooh, new thing. Nice. Okay. Oh, you wild, crazy... Get it out of the way. Okay. There we go. No. Out of the way. Don't eat my stuff. Okay. So, yeah. So, there are... Plants get sick just like we do. I know. Big surprise there. Woo. Oh no. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with the leg. I mean, it should be okay, but that doesn't mean anything. Well, that chicken's dead. Poor chicken. Sorry if it's all goofy and whatnot. It's one of the reasons I started doing these streams at home. I wanted to do streams in the lab to show you guys cool stuff. However, the university internet is garbage. At least the signal is, and I can't really get it to work. I'm gonna try some different things, but so far no dice. Although I did recently go to a conference this week on food security and sustainability, and they need some help trying to figure out ways to improve soil. And one of the ways to do that is to improve your soil microbes. Oops, sorry. And so I'm going to try and figure out a low-cost way for them to assess microbe health and see if things that they're doing are improving things or, you know, making them worse. So that is, ow, a goal of mine. So I may be turning my own house into a little bit of a probably kind of crazy looking home laboratory thing going on, which could be very fun. Alright. You are non-laggy on my end. Okay, good. Well, I'm sorry, Mark. I don't know what's going on. What did you bring me? Oh, wow. It's got chocolate in it, guys. I don't know what it is. It looks delicious, though. Ooh, yeah. That's coffee liqueur with chocolate. That I can approve of. And bourbon. Nice. Oh, bourbon cream. Oh, this is the Buffalo Trace bourbon cream. Okay. So Buffalo Trace bourbon cream. Slime, I don't need you. Don't you dare eat my chicken. Gosh dang it. I need this chicken really bad. Yeah, so it's kind of like a chocolate coffee martini, and it is pretty dang good. Oh, I've gotten so much mail. Oh my goodness, what's going on? I need a male chicken, which is called a rooster. All right, here we go. Well, I already have it. Wow, did you guys grow up fast? Okay, well, I'll put another one in here. All right, you guys, I'm sorry, but you have to the cause. You have to die for the cause. All right, there we go. You know, I think I should just make you guys Largos. You know, I thought I did that last time. Now I'm real confused. Maybe I didn't save my game and I'm just an idiot. That could also have happened. Because I definitely thought I had more money. Alright, well, that's okay. Never mind. But yeah, I'm going to try to figure out a low-cost way to do that. And so that's going to involve fire and alcohol, most likely. Everything will be fine. There's nothing wrong going to happen.
So that's
Whoop!
2 parts bourbon cream, 1 part coffee liqueur,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 bar spoons full of Hershey's
Okay.
dark syrup.
All right. I didn't quite get that, but it sounds amazing. All right. Okay. So I said we were going to talk about plant tumors. Plants get tumors just like we do, although they are caused by different things. So when I'm talking about a tumor, I'm talking about a mass that is not normal. You've probably seen them. I mean, most of the time. Here, guys, have a fruit to play with. Okay. So most of the time, they occur in response to some sort of threat. However, they can happen if, say, I'm sure you've seen points where somebody planted a tree and it's way too flippin' close to a fence and the tree's just like, I'll just eat this fence. And then it's kind of got a mass over said fence. So there's that. But the most common tumors on plants, and a plant tumor is called a gall because scientists like to have special names for everything, but it's still a tumor, are insect galls. So basically what happens is that an insect will burrow into the tree somewhere or the leaf and will try to make a little home in there, and the plant responds by trying to sort of wall off that area. Now, sometimes the insects that's not what I wanted, can induce a plant to make these kind of chambers. And that has to do with a bunch of complicated like hormones and other stuff. So we won't worry about that too much right now. But that will be a little chamber that'll have holes in. So you usually will see little bumps. Most commonly, people will find leaf galls. They look like little protrusions on the leaves or the stems. The Field Guides podcast, their first episode, I think, I'm pretty sure, was all about goldenrod galls. And those are caused by different species of insects which will burrow into the stem to make themselves a little home, and then they'll overwinter in there. And so that's sort of where they live over wintertime. And so and they could have done a whole huge thing on like insects and insect galls and all that fun sort of crazy stuff. I would suggest, because they're a couple of naturalists that are both from New York, I would suggest listening to that if you're more interested in that specifically. I had someone send me a picture the other day of maple leaves which had little black spots on them that sort of protruded. They almost look like little pimples. And those were also insect galls that were made by mites. So little mites. But it's usually not a problem. Most galls are very small. And the plant just sort of ignores it. I mean, it's not really a big deal most of the time. Because unlike us... Oh yeah, I definitely didn't save because that dude should not be there. Ha. Huh. Well, mess that up. Guess we get to redo it. Woo, yeah. All right, here we go. Do. Here we go. Hi, buddy. Okay. I need more food. You guys will find out in a second. Good thing there's all this fruit over here. With my sucking machine. It's werft fruit. This is mein Flammenwerfer. It werfs Flammen. Instead it's fruit. Oh, you are so close. Oh, darn it. Oh, boy. Don't worry. This is going to be exciting and totally worth it, but I need more food. Because I need a key. Because once that guy explodes, and I know that seems harsh, but he explodes into smaller cells. I think this is how they reproduce. I really don't know. This game is kind of weird, and that's why I love it. But yeah, a lot of insects will create galls to overwinter or to hide. Also, a lot will create things for... Ooh, hi baby. Will also create things for that when they're first like laying eggs. So like there were different insects which will lay eggs on a tree, and then the caterpillar or larvae or whatever will dig into the plant and will create a gall, and the plant will be like, hey, I did not invite you in here. Seriously. And you eat all my food and you don't pay rent. So they will try to wall off that area of tissue. And there's a couple different strategies. So oak apples are insect things. Yeah, it's the same sort of idea. So yeah, so you will get those which will form in response to different sort of parasites and larvae and eggs and stuff. And so usually the plant will try to wall off that area because, I mean, I can't really blame them for being like, you know, why did you come into my house and, you know, eat my wall, eat my couch. Because of that, that sort of swelling forms, that sort of gall forms. The plant will also try to make more like wall material. So most of the plant cell walls are made of cellulose, so that's your fiber. So when we talk about dietary fiber, that's cellulose. And that's the main building block of plant cells. Now, it is not the part that makes woody plants woody. So like this tree, for instance. So when we're talking about these fruits, the leafy part of the carrot has cellulose in it. And the leafy part of this tree also has cellulose in it. And it has cellulose in the trunk. But it also has another compound called lignin. And lignin is the real stiff stuff. It's the stuff we can't really digest. And we can't really digest cellulose that well either. But it keeps everything kind of moving in our gut. And that's why it's sort of important for that sort of thing. Here's some fruit, babies. I gotta go, like, feed your greedy cousin. Alright. Let's see. We're gonna check if there are any more questions on the chat. Oh no, more messages. What are the messages? Alright, here we go. Go. Sorry, you guys are like delaying me, and I want to delayed when I'm looking at the chat, so I'm like trying to make sure I've got everybody's questions. Yeah, so the most common galls are insect galls. They can vary in size depending on the insect. Also can vary in number. Sometimes you'll see a really bad infestation where a poor plant's got all sorts, but most of the time there's only a few. So a couple of the strategies besides walling off that area is is to basically kill off that tissue. Woo! Wait. Ah! Ta-da! Look! Guys, we got a key! Yes. Alright. Hi, buddies. Don't fall in the death water. That ocean is insta-death, guys. You don't want to go there. What did I get? Ooh. Oh, that's great. Oh, what a weird ornament. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay. We'll go back to our farm then. That's great. And so when the plant decides to kill off the tissue, it goes through what's called senescence, which is the technical term for browning, you know? So when you like see a corn plant or see a flower and it's finished and it starts to yellow and die, that's called senescence. And so the senescence occurs because the plant is releasing a hormone called ethylene. It's a gas. And that's actually how people in the food industry will ripen fruits to make them look tasty in the grocery store. So a lot of people will talk to me and say, oh, well, tomatoes used to taste so much better, but now they taste gross. And the reason they taste gross is because someone picked a green tomato that hasn't ripened at all, and they treated it with the ripening hormone. So as I said, the plant will go through senescence if it's if it's treated with that ethylene compound, or pulse wave. What the heck is that? It will start to brown or yellow, or if it's a fruit, it will ripen. And the seeds will... I want a jetpack for sure. Can I also get this? No, I don't have enough money. Oh no. Forgotten how much it sucks to not have money in early game. I'm stuck. Okay. And so ethylene is the ripening hormone. And so that's what causes tomatoes and stuff to turn red. And so if you treat green tomatoes with that hormone, they'll turn red prematurely, basically. Like, it induces them to turn red and to start to ripen, but because they haven't grown all the way, they will not... I guess the best way to put it is they don't accumulate sugars. They don't accumulate all the flavors and stuff. So they taste like crap. They don't have any flavor. They're just watery. And so that's why, because I was having a debate with somebody, because they're like, oh, it's it's like modern farming is what's made tomatoes taste awful. And I'm like, nah, it actually has to do with food processing and food companies. But farmers don't have anything to do with that part. It's because everyone wants their vegetables to look perfect and have no blemishes. They want it to be like it has been grown in a vacuum or painted in a painting. And that's just not how real life works. So there's plenty of ugly vegetables which are perfectly good to eat. Especially if they've been allowed to ripen naturally. They're probably better for you, if we're going to be honest. Okay, let's see, what were we going to do? Ooh, we could get another phosphor. Come here, buddy. Oh no. Ooh. Yeah. Alright, we definitely need more chickens. We are having a chicken problem. A serious chicken problem. Oh, darn. Alright, now that I have my jetpack. Oh, no. Oh, this is not working. Oh, holy crap. No, we don't want one of those. Oh, run. Run, 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 run. Run, run, run. Run, 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 run. Alrighty. Oh, my mother-in-law's at a game watch. She wanted to watch. Oh, that's so cute. That's okay. I actually got to spend the week with them. That was really nice. Alright, so the other kind of plant tumor we can have are fungal galls. So those are caused by, guess what? Fungus. And most of the time, it is not good. Fungal, it's usually caused by a pathogen, and fungal pathogens are the worst. They are the biggest threat to food and crops in general most of the time. I'm sure somebody's heard of late blight. That is a fungal pathogen which kills the crap out of potatoes. And that was the thing that wiped out all of the potatoes during the potato famine, as it were. It also infects other plants within that family. We'll call them solanaceous plants is the technical term. Oh no, nothing but roosters. Oh no, it's just a bromance in here. We need to get more ladies. I'm sorry, buddy. You have to die for the cause. So, fungal galls are normally real bad. Because they are necrotrophic. So, necro, of course, means death. So, we talk about necromancers in fantasy, which are people who, you know, use and make dark arts of the undead. And so fungus will usually kill. So unlike the insect, which is kind of an annoyance, but is localized, usually, the fungus tends to spread quite rapidly. Ooh, danger. Alright, we're gonna run, everybody. Run. Are they chasing us? Oh, they're chasing us. Okay. No, 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 no. Running. Oh, I didn't want to go here. Oh no, dang it. Ah, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I've made a grievous error. Ah! I'm going to die. Oh no. Run, 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 run. Oh, don't go back there, buddy. They're really mean. All right. Now, we're headed in the right direction. I completely forgot what I was doing for a second. Everything is fine. Everything is great. No problems. None whatsoever. Yeah, so fungal galls. Oh, I did forget the pink plorts. You are right. Yeah, I went past them. Darn it. Yeah, unfortunately, they're worth like the least amount of money. Yeah, I'm going to try to go get some more chickens. And that's the big thing right now. Oh, there you go. Oh, don't you dare eat all my chickens, gosh dang it. Nope, this chicken is mine. Mine. Ooh, different kind. Even better. Come here. Oh, dang, he did eat that chicken. Gosh dang. Gosh dang darn. Come here. Alright. Alright, you big old giant phosphor. Oh, look how cute he is. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so fungal galls. Gosh dang it. I get so distracted. Hi, buddy. So, fungal galls cause something called a canker. So you'll usually see, it looks like a scar most of the time. You'll see it on trees because they can live for quite a long time with one. Unless you're sort of in the tropics, because it's hot and humid and warm, and they usually will cause those plants to die pretty quickly. But if you're a hardwood tree, for example, and you have like a fungal gall, it will start to eat away at the tissue, and it looks like a sore or a scar. And then the winter will kind of kill it off. And then after the winter kills it off, for a little while, or it'll go dormant, you'll have different like spores and stuff that'll be in the wood. Then the tree will be okay, will start to heal itself. And actually it might be the other way around, because the tree will go dormant and the fungus will eat, and then the tree will try to heal around the canker as the fungus is eating. And it's just really a losing battle, because eventually it's just going to eat away at it. And so you'll see these sort of black and brown colors. And that is caused by the plant, one, releasing wounding compounds to try to kill the fungus, as well as the fungus just eating away, and it's just dead tissue. So, oh, I should have said, we are now in the moss blanket area. This beautiful forest. Yes. I love it. I want to live here. So yeah, a canker is usually what's called. Ooh, weird fruit. Nice. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alrighty. And we gotta collect more chickens before we can go home and feed our tabby slimes. Actually, I'm thinking about trying to make hybrids. So in hybrids, in this game are called largos. This is one here. It's a hybrid of a pink and a tabby. You notice that it's really big, and it would be what us biology nerds has what we call hybrid vigor, which means because it is a hybrid, it has a lot of different traits from the two different parents, of very genetically different parents. And that gives it some advantages. So it's one of the reasons in crops we have a lot of different hybrids, because they tend to be bigger and more robust and more resistant and all that fun stuff. It's also, they are less likely to die to pathogens and other stuff, but you can never really predict that. I mean, it's life. Life happens. Sometimes unpredictable things happen. Yeah, so cankers can be quite devastating, and you've probably seen them all over the place. A lot of people will like to... So, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the movie Pocahontas from Disney. Regardless on its historical accuracy or not, we won't get into that. It had this character called Grandmother Willow, who was a face in the tree. And the thing was, is if any sort of botanist would look at it, they'd say, that's a canker. Like, that's what it looks like. That's what, you know, that sort of roundish scarring where there's no bark and it is smooth underbark tissue is a canker. And on the edges is where those fungus would be. Instead, you turn her into a magical sage that's kind of like your fairy godmother, because reasons. Disney. I don't try to explain it. Okay, more chickens. As I said, we have a chicken problem. Oh, don't you dare eat that chicken. Alright. So that's the next most common kind. And then I have the pièce de la résistance, which is crown gall disease. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're gonna go up back here. So, for my PhD, I have been studying the microbe which causes crown gall disease. It is called Agrobacterium tumefaciens. I will call it agro for short. And agro will infect its host. It is a bacteria, it lives in the soil, and it is an opportunist. It will infect a wounded plant, so something that's already been hurt some way, usually chewed on by an herbivore, or in most cases in modern day, a lawnmower. We'll call that the modern day herbivore. Mechanical cow. And so our mechanical cow, so many chickens. I kind of like how they roll like balls. Look, see how they roll? Sorry, more chickens to the cause. Sorry, you guys might also have to go. I'm sorry. But these babies need to eat. And so Agrobacterium will cause crown gall disease, which is a formation of the tumor. Now, in the differences between the other tumors that we've been talking about, it can be quite large. It can also grow quite a bit. So it will start at the wound site and it will cause the tissue to grow out of control. And this will be closest to what we may consider plant cancer in a way. And that has to do with the bacteria has a big genetic element, we'll say, called the tumor-inducing plasmid. Big circular piece of DNA, which is our genetic material. Ow, 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 9. I know you're so cute, and yet you hurt so much. And that tumor-inducing plasmid, as you may tell, induces tumors because it has on it... what do I want to do with this mango? I don't know. How about you guys get to eat it? It contains the genes to create opines. Opines is like a amino acid plus a sugar. So it's like a protein sugar. So think of it as like a protein smoothie. Good and bad for you. But most microbes can only eat just plain sugar or just plain protein. They can't eat a food that has both at the same time. And so this agro inserts into the plant and engineers the plant to create this special food for it. And so there's a lot of complicated steps on how this works and stuff, and we'll only get into it if people really, really want to know, deep-seated desire. But I have been studying how that works because there's still a lot about the process we don't quite understand. We understand a lot about what the bacteria goes through to be able to do this, but we don't understand a lot about what makes you a good host. Like, why is this plant able to be engineered by this bacteria but not a different one? But something that it also puts inside the plant are plant growth hormone, which seems crazy. I mean, honestly, a bacteria that's evolved to have plant growth hormone genes is kind of nuts, because those growth hormones are not present in other bacteria. It is an example of what we'd like to call horizontal gene transfer, where like vertical gene transfer would be like you have a mama and a daddy and their baby looks just like them. That is vertical gene transfer. And the baby has one half of mama's genes and one half of daddy's genes. And that's just how it works. That's how humans work. That's how all that other stuff works. However, sometimes you can get transfer of genes between two disparate organisms. So we'd say organisms which are completely different, and I'm not even talking like slimes. Like, I'm talking like a gene that came from a carrot and is now in the slime. This is kind of what's going on. We have in our own genome DNA and genes from viruses. We have genes that are similar to other organisms, thought to have come through what we call vertical inheritance, because, you know, we started off as some goop in some pond millions of years ago. But the thing is there is some viruses that are present in certain lineages of humans that aren't present in other lineages of humans. And those came, and sometimes those contain genes from other viruses or other beings, which means that virus picked that up at some point, like infected another species and then grabbed that along with its own genetic material, and then that got transferred into humans and piggybacked there. So that is what we call horizontal gene transfer, and it happens in nature all the time. I will say most of the events that occurred in our genome way back in the past happened a long time ago, from what everyone can tell. There is not a lot of active horizontal gene transfer going on in our genome at this moment that we think. I will say it that way. Now, if we go back to Agrobacterium, which causes crown gall disease, it is actively transferring genes from itself into the plant. And so this causes a tumor to form. And it can be a big old tumor. So when I put up the post of our drink and think tonight of that big old mass, that is a crown gall tumor. That is caused by Agrobacterium. And the Agrobacterium wants those cells, those bit of the plant with the big old mass, to produce food for it for a long, long time. And it will live in that gall, and it will divide in that gall, and it will have lots of babies, and it will have a nice cushy life. And the hormones that are being produced, because what will happen, and this is one of the things that I've been researching in my PhD, is I'm trying to figure out kind of how the microbe hijacks the cell, how it sort of takes over and gets past the immune system, because plants have immune systems like we do. Now, they function differently. I'm sure that's not a huge surprise and, you know, kind of obvious, but... So, where should we go next, guys? And so, on some plants, Agrobacterium can form that big old gall like I talked about. And on other ones, it doesn't work. And I don't really know how, because the thing is that it's sometimes easy to be able to say, because we know in general that Agrobacterium likes to infect a certain class of plants. They're called dicot plants, but basically just what that means is that the embryo in the seed starts off with two little, like, leavies. They're not really true leaves. They're like baby leaves. Kind of like we have baby teeth. It's baby leaves. And those baby leaves are called cotyledons. That's what the di comes from. Di is two. Cotyledon is the term for these baby leaves. Ooh, I could get these. But no, I should upgrade my baby's homes. We're going to upgrade our homes. All right, we're going to give them high walls for now. Yeah. That way they can't jump out. Okay, what else are we going to do? High walls. Okay. And then, what else? Okay. I should probably say, does anyone have any questions so far? I feel like I've been talking a while. Do we want the port collector or the auto feeder? Oh, I don't even have enough money. Oh, no. We'll do music. Yeah. Well, you guys get music. That's nice. Okay. So, we'll do that in a minute. All right. Okay. Now I need to check the chat, make sure it's working. There's not anything crazy going on. Okay. Oh boy. Mobile live to your channel. Discord. Manage the thing. Alright. Oh no. What's going on? Yep. Alright, there we go. Alright, cool. Then we should be good. Alright, so as I said, it's not really quite clear why certain plants get it and others don't. Because it makes a little sense if it's a totally different class of plant. So, for example, as I said, dicots are the ones that have 2 little baby leaves in the embryo. And those are all your like woody plants, or your trees and your bushes. And normally a lot of your short veggies, like your herbs. So there are some trees which are monocots. Most of them are dicots. So you got eggplant and potatoes and all that fun stuff. Cabbages. No, Mark, that's fine. Just ask your question and I'll answer it when I can. But I prefer if people ask questions and that I'm not just sort of speaking into the void. Or I'm just like talking and then everyone's like, what are you saying? Because I talk about this crap all the time with people that know this crap. At least in general. So not a problem at all. Okay. There's an incoming call. Actually, we should read our mail. That's what we should do. Oh, look how cute I am. Star Mail. Victor Humphreys. Slime Scientist. Amateur Musician. Oh no. Formed you the Range Exchange. Expect requests. Liquiform Legion. We share the vast range of slimes. Studying. Find shorter particular species. Alright. So a scientist. Like myself, but in real life. Oh, and he lost a fiddle. Oh. So if we find a fiddle, we should bring it back. Got it. And then Thora. It's our another neighbor. Network of ranchers. Range exchange. Add to your network. Check your mailbox. Alright. Casey, my BFF. Sleep the whole year. Did you dream? Wow, blah, blah, blah. Start exploring. Bet it's really beautiful. Asking too much questions. Still can't believe it's yours now. All right. Do. And a big old corporation. Welcome to the event. Extend our support to your bold new venture as Slime Rancher Support Extended. Corporate form letters. Oh, it's too real. First few days. Don't travel at night. Don't tell me what to do. Additional tools for a small fee. Oh, I'm sure. All right. Well, we'll sleep till morning. All right. Yeah, lignin and cellulose. Yep. No, I actually worked in a lab that worked on plant cell walls for a long time, and that was one of the major components. We were trying to, when we're doing biofuels, most of the time if you want to make ethanol, the easiest way is to feed yeast or other bacteria sugar. Most of the time yeast, because if you put them in an environment with just sugar, they'll make ethanol, and that's pretty great. But there are other bacteria will do that. However, the reason it doesn't work well is because you won't get just... Ooh! I think I got a lot of money, guys. I didn't feed her, though. Where'd she go? Where'd you go, Lucky Slime? Ah, I don't have the jetpack upgrade. Oh, darn it. They disappeared, guys. Man, that stinks. We could have gotten a lot of money, and I was not paying attention. That's my fault. Oh, well. Need to get more chickens. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yep. So yeah, there's sort of... ethanol can be formed from just sugar. A yeast will eat it, and if it is in conditions where there is no air, it will produce ethanol. That's how beer works. And booze works. But there are other bacteria that will do that. Commonly, people like to use E. coli. E. coli has been the most used microbe probably by anybody for tons of stuff. Oh my goodness. It is a major, major workhorse in research. But it is what we call a mixed acid fermenter. And the reason I say mixed acid fermenter is that it does not produce just ethanol. It produces ethanol, but it also produces lactic acid and a bunch of other stuff. Okay, hey Victor. All right, we need 11 pink ones. Well, they're not that hard to find, but a puddle slime. No, those are hard. I don't wanna. All right, I'll do it anyway. Okay, so we're gonna see. Maybe he'll give us money or something cool. All right, guys, you're being donated to science. I'm sorry, but I can't feel too bad. Your population is too dense anyway. Also, I can't really figure out where you're coming from because in this game you spring from the ground, and I can't accept that because there's no slime sex going on. And everybody knows that if there's anything nature likes, it's sex. Unless you're a bacteria. Then you just split in half and become two. Sometimes you have sex. And that's the horizontal gene transfer that we talked about earlier. Because actually, crown gall disease, when agrobacterium transfers gene material into a plant cell, is very similar to bacteria sex. I'm not gonna lie. Bacteria sex is called conjugation. And for a long time they thought it was a form of conjugation because it looks a lot like it. It looks a lot like it. Yeah. So, because bacteria do horizontal gene transfer all the time, and they do that through conjugation, and it is super easy. They can do it with other species, so it's even more. Ooh, I didn't want to get the baby though. Sorry, baby. Ah! Shot that baby across the pen. Oh no. Oh no. Man, I need to figure out a better way to get chickens because you guys are always hungry. This is not, I either that or I need more or I need to do something else. This is just not sustainable. And I just went to a conference on sustainable agriculture practices. Oh my gosh. I'm such a bad example. Anyway, so yeah, so we had our conjugation, our horizontal gene transfer, and we're making plant tumors. And plant tumors are all made because of hormone imbalances. Or the plant is trying to get rid of or expel whatever's inside that tumor. And I actually did find out the other day, which I hadn't realized, is that insects will also cause the production of those growth hormones. Some of them even have it in their saliva. And that's the weird thing again. I talked about how Agrobacterium has plant hormone genes, which is just crazy to me. And insects sometimes have them too. It's a little weird. It's kinda nuts. I don't understand it. But that's why I love my job, because it's just so freaking crazy. And that's why I had to end up, because I had the topic of plant tumors as well as my microbe love affair. And the reason is because I'm in love with microbes. I'm particularly in love with agro. It is my favorite lover. However, there are also a lot of other microbes I like. Mostly because microbes are like the most successful form of life on our planet, because they can live flipping everywhere. Because overall, humans, and particularly conjugation. Yes, there seems to be a difference between tattooing and plant tumors. Yes, they never lose the ink. Yes, no, conjugation is just the technical term for bacteria sex. What it is one bacteria transferring genetic material into another bacteria, and they use a structure made of protein called a, guess what? A pilus. That doesn't sound familiar. That sounds like a familiar term to anyone who knows anything about anatomy. It's called a pilus. And it grows from one bacteria and penetrates. I'm so immature. Penetrates into another bacteria. And when it penetrates, it will transfer DNA into that bacteria. And that DNA will contain different traits and genes on it. And so, when Agrobacterium infects a plant, it's very similar. It makes, pilus, same Latin root word, yep. It makes a very similar structure. It's a special kind, as you might guess, made of different proteins, and it transfers DNA into the plant. And then where my research comes in is that it's a little gray on we know it gets into the plant, and we know that molecule of DNA called the transfer DNA or tDNA will get to the plant nucleus where all the DNA was. Hey, this was in that simulation, that 1984 version of the thing, yeah. And so, yeah, microbes do this all the time. This is microbe sex. And so, there is the Agrobacterium. Did I just clip through the wall? I might have. Okay. The Agrobacterium will transfer the DNA using its special T pilus, since it's transferring the tDNA, and that will get to the nucleus somehow. We have some ideas on how that happens, but it's still not entirely clear. Ooh, another present. What is it? What is it? Was it another chicken? I hope it's not the same chicken. Okay, chickens. I have to pick up this very important, goofy ornament. Yes, it is. Excellent. That's great. And so that makes its way to the nucleus somehow, normally by interacting with the inside cellular highways in different ways. And then once it gets in there, it expresses those genes. We talked about the tumor-causing genes and the special food genes. Boop. Oh, no. No, not my ornament. All right. The special food genes. And will reform the cell. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. And so then the cell is engineered. Ta-da! Yep. And so because of that, we can use this natural process. So this has actually happened. So this happens in nature and usually causes a tumor. There are different kinds of agros that will cause a similar disease. It is called adventitious root disease, but basically all you know is a bunch of roots grow out of control. And when they grow out of control, the plant kind of starves. It's like having a growth spurt, but not being able to eat enough to keep up with it. And so all those extra roots end up being real bad for the plant. And that's called the root-inducing plasmid instead of the tumor-inducing plasmid, but same idea. They're all cousins, really. And so it was actually discovered, I think it was published in 2015. It's only been 3 years now. That there was a group, they were working on sweet potatoes, and they are wanting to figure out sort of the evolution of sweet potatoes and their different relatives and different ones in the wild. And they saw something weird. They kept finding genes. So these are the different coding of genetic material in the potato, in all the different potatoes that they sequenced. So they're sequencing all the genetic material. So they're isolating DNA from the plant. They are, and DNA is in a code, right, like letters. And those codes are read by different proteins to make different things. And I can explain that a little bit more if somebody's confused. And so they saw something weird. They kept seeing genes that were from agrobacterium. Now, I said before that there are these that we have some viral genes, and that was thought that, oh, there might have been a virus that infected it a long time ago. We knew a lot about that. But then they saw these agrobacterium genes, and it didn't make any sense, and so they thought, oh, it must be a mistake. We must have contaminated the sample. So they went back, and then they asked some friends who had sent them samples going, hey, do you have agrobacterium in your lab? Do you think that the samples got contaminated? And they said, well, no, we've never used agrobacterium. We've never had it in our lab. And they're like, okay, that's really weird. And so then they looked around and they're like, no one we looked in our lab and we don't have any, because if you want to make sure that your sequence is accurate, you don't want to accidentally get DNA from other stuff in there. And so because of that, they checked and found that indeed at some point in the way back history of sweet potatoes, they were genetically engineered by agros, but instead of getting a tumor, those genes just stayed. And it looked like that the genes that were a part of the tumor-causing bits weren't functional, but the other genes were. And so they checked all the different samples, and they sequenced 293 different kinds of sweet potatoes. And they found that every single one had these genes, so they had to conclude that all sweet potatoes are genetically modified. Every one that anyone has ever eaten was genetically modified by agrobacterium in its past. Its ancestors were. And once they started looking, they found that actually this happened in a few plants. And a friend of mine has been studying this for a while on different tobacco species. We knew it had occurred in tobacco during its evolution, but no one was really concerned because no one eats tobacco. And the kinds that it did happen in, no one really smoked either. So we can use the agrobacterium system to introduce new traits into plants, and that's how we genetically engineer plants. And so that is what I work on, and that's how it works. Because I can remove the bad bits, the tumor-causing bits, and I can replace it with other stuff. And we are just mimicking what happens in nature, albeit I would say more efficiently, because it's sort of rare in nature. It's more rare for the tumor to happen. But it still can occur where no tumor happens, and instead you get an introduction of a new gene into your plant. So, that is how it works. And so if anyone has any other questions about that stuff, I would be happy to answer. I also am getting near the bottom of my cocktail, and that is definitely a problem that needs to be solved. Oh boy. So how's everybody doing? You doing good? I'm glad you're here with me. I'm glad you joined me. I hope it is not too crazy technical scary. Sometimes I use a lot of big words and I don't really think about it. But you know what? That is okay. Buddy, what's your problem? You look very sad. There's carrots right over here. Here, eat this. Eat this, it's good for you. There you go. Good job. All right. I think, and the carrots go over the wall. All right, boom. Yeah, someone else can enjoy those carrots. Is there anything interesting over here? Oh, I know. I was going to buy something. What was I gonna buy? I cannot remember. Look at all these babies. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Ah! Excuse me. Excuse me, no. Oh, I was gonna talk more about my microbe love affair. How I'm in love with agrobacterium because it's just so flippin' cool. I mean, come on. You're a tiny, tiny, tiny organism that can't be seen without a microscope, and you can enslave. Yep, the GMO sweet potato. You need some now. Too many sweet pies a day. Yup. So yeah, GMO sweet potatoes are natural transgenic. Now they're calling it a natural transgenic, as opposed to an unnatural transgenic, which doesn't quite make sense because we are using a product and a bacteria from nature that does it on its own and doesn't really need our help. Now, I will say that some are definitely easier to work with than others. That's a lot of what I've been working on. Because the thing that I haven't quite been able to figure out, and that's what I've been working on, is why there are big differences even within a species. So what I'm talking about is even if I have a type of plant, so I work with a little weed called mouse ear cress. The reason I work with it is it's little, it has tons of babies, and it grows really fast. And so because of that, it's easy to care for. And it also has a relatively small genome. Now I say it that way. Okay, how much money do I need? I have enough, guys. Yes. Ta-da. Now we can look. But it's not really clear why some... Oh, look how beautiful it is. I have a ranch extension. The only reason to buy this ranch extension is for the very, 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 very prevalent chickens. So many. So many. The best day ever. Ooh, can I go over here? No, it is barred to me. Not allowed to go there. Not yet. I have to pay more money. But yeah, it's not quite clear why I even have varieties of my mouse-eared crests, which are really easy to work with and really easy to engineer. We call it transformation. So agrobacterium transformation, it's because it's transforming its host into what it wants. Which I was talking to somebody on the plane yesterday, and they're like, you know, that might not be the best word. And I'm like, I know, it sounds very sci-fi. I think that doesn't help. I think anybody who's in science, we're really bad at PR. We're really bad at it. Okay, English, lots of dark fruits, sugars, holiday thing. That does sound really good though. I'm kind of hungry now. Oh boy. See all the chickens you could want. Now you'll stop bothering me. I felt glad. I feel like you were very lean. All my poor tabbies. Ooh boy. Oop. No. I messed up. Excuse me. Pardon me. I need your plorts. I need your plorts. I don't know why that they're used to make things in this universe. But the quote about scientists and PR and the fear very broadly, it's why you don't have decent cars. Yeah, that's true. We do not have decent cars. Well, we're not paid very much, depending on who you work for. I was actually looking at jobs yesterday, and I'm like, oh, this could be a really great job. And my husband's like, oh yeah, that'd be great. And then I was still making like way less than him. And he has a bachelor's degree, and he's like, you know, that's just wrong. He's like, you have a PhD and you're making less money than me. Like, there's just something wrong with that. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Everybody sort of just puts up with it, you know. I will say that, you know, if you work for industry, you'll get paid better, but those are very competitive, and there's problems with that as well. I mean, there's problems with any job, you know. The government ones get paid a lot, and they're probably why they're so competitive as well. You know. That's a discussion for another day. Of course, I'm a masochist, and I want to work for a non-profit where I have no money. Why? Because I got into science to help people. Because I'm naive. No, sorry, Mark. I didn't mean to trigger you. Mark's super mad, guys. Oh no, chicken. Ah, well, I'll let you live for now. Escape while you can, chicken. Your days are numbered. Oh, that's funny. Oh well. Actually, really, yeah, rant. I usually go on a plant rant. It's most of the time when it's inaccurate information about how plant science works. Or when people are like, plants are boring and stupid. And I'm like, you shut up. I'm like, I dare you to go a day without using something that is made from a plant. You know? And I bet you that you're just lying naked in a concrete room. And you'll have nobody to blame but yourself. Oh boy. But yeah, as I said, microbes are a lot of fun because they are so fascinating. There are some that can live without air. There are some that can live under extreme pressures, extreme temperature, live in flippin' acid. There's a bunch that live in your stomach. But it's just crazy the stuff that they can survive and deal with. Like, I can't even get over it. It's amazing. And so that's one of the reasons that's like, and we like have no idea. And we're finding more and more that our health is dependent on our little, I'd say, unseen partners. Woo! Can I have your ball? Whoop! Ow! 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 Okay, I'm taking your toy now. But we're learning more and more and more about microbiome. And when I'm talking about microbiome, I'm talking about the whole biology and system and ecology and stuff of the microbes that live in us and on us and with us, and we have no idea. We know very little. And actually a excellent book is by Ed Young, and he wrote I Contain Multitudes. It's all about microbiomes and things and the microbial world and things we don't know. Okay. Ugh. Yay, you guys get a ball now. Yay. Everybody wins. Yay. All right. Does everyone have food? We need to go check that. We need to go check if everybody's at food, and then we're going to go feed that tabby slime and see if we can get another key. I hope we can, because that would be pretty great. Yep. Yeah, there's actually the conference I was at earlier this week was all about sustainable ag practices and small-scale farming and how to help people lift themselves out of poverty by using underutilized crops and diversifying techniques, and how to make the most out of a little bit of land, because a lot of the time you don't necessarily have acres and acres and acres and acres and acres and acres to make a living off of, so you gotta get creative. But that's okay, because all these people are real hardworking and real smart. And sometimes they just need seeds, and sometimes they just need a little bit of advice, and then they'll do the rest on their own. And it's pretty great. And so right now, I went there to see, number one, if I could do jobs, but sort of number two, to see if there was anything I could help them with. And since I have a bachelor's in microbiology, and I have my microbe lover that I study, I am going to try to figure out a low-cost way to help them assess their different techniques to see if they're able to improve soil health. So there were a lot of areas which were either over-farmed or were not treated well or had erosion problems, and they just don't have good soil, and they just don't have good soil microbes, which we're finding are... I have a flashlight? What? How did I never know this? I've played this game for ages, and I had no idea. Oh, I am useless. Wow. Good job, Shell. Drunk Fido, you are doing so good. You were playing this sober, and you didn't even know you had a flashlight. Good grief. That would have saved so much headaches in caves and in the dark. Wow. I am so dumb. But yeah, I Contain Multitudes. Great book. You should get it. It's a lot of fun. And they will blow your mind. All the different things that you depend on microbes. And then I like talking about plants. With plants and microbes, they hang out together a lot. Most of them are roommates. Most of them are good neighbors. There are some that are not so good neighbors. Those are like Agrobacterium, although, as I said, it's not all the time. Agrobacterium is an opportunist. It leaves the plant alone unless the plant is wounded and it sees an opportunity. Kind of like that shitty friend that, you know, will come and stab you in the back when you're down, you know? And you're like, hey, what the heck? Why are you the worst? Ooh, who is that? Oh no, I just realized I missed out on my trade with the scientist. Because I never got a puddle slime. I got distracted by chickens. That's my fault. That's on me, guys. I hope that doesn't come to bite me later. See, the thing is, I got this game when it came out in beta, and that was actually, ooh, that might be years ago now. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, I know there are more chickens hiding in this grass somewhere. Where are you? I need you to feed you to that giant tabby slime so he'll explode and give me money. That didn't sound weird. Maybe I need to go somewhere else. Alright, but yeah, so my current thing is I'm going to try to figure out a way to help them assess how their microbes are doing, if they're getting more, you know, if they're growing well, if the things they're trying are working. There's another one over there. No. Gosh dang. There is a present though. I have another chicken one. I already have that one though. What a ripoff. Oh, ow, ow, ow. All right. But, oh well, too bad. We'll see if these chickens will do it. Maybe I'll find some more along the way. That would be good. Is there anything over here? A treasure thing I can't open. Awesome. Well, that's nice. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out a low-cost way to do that. Because I know how to do it in the lab, but that's not terribly helpful. Because at the moment, they figured out lots of ways to culture them, which is great. Using very little. I mean, they use a t-shirt, dirt, a stick, a bucket, some water, and some molasses. It worked great. So, but they're not sure, you know, how good it's working. And they're trying different ways of aging it. And so, I was like, okay, it is probably going to involve my kitchen. It's probably going to involve fire and alcohol. So if we never have one of these again, it's because I accidentally blew myself up. So maybe for the next drink and think, you guys can see my experiment and how I fail miserably or hurt myself. It's gonna be great. I'm not worried. Oh, I think my poor kitties, they're outside the door. They're very sad. I closed it. But the problem is that they'll try to eat their plant brothers and sisters because they can't help themselves, including the poisonous ones, because they also can't help themselves. Ah! Alrighty, well. Woo! Excuse me. If there are no more questions, I probably will. Here, this is what we'll do. What we'll do is we'll see if we can get that tabby to explode. And then maybe we'll wrap up for the day. So if anybody has any last minute burning questions about plant tumors, about microbes, or plant microbes, or even human microbes. We can talk about human microbes too. I don't talk about humans much because I think humans get talked about enough. We tend to be... Yeah, when's the next one? Oh, I don't know. Probably in a couple weeks. Probably after Thanksgiving. American Thanksgiving is next week. It's a national holiday where we go, eat a bunch of food, and talk to / tolerate relatives. I will say I usually get to see family. I also usually get to see relatives. I do not consider them the same thing. Maybe I'm a bad person, but I think everybody knows what I mean. Let's just say that. So, and then I will put out a poll on a topic and we can talk about that. We might talk more about microbes, specifically pathogens and stuff next time, maybe. Because I've been listening to some great podcasts called This Podcast Will Kill You by a couple of epidemiologists named Aaron and Aaron. You can probably look them up, and they do a fantastic job talking about all the different viruses and infections and things that can happen to humans, the history, the biology, and as also medicine. I'll bring fermented grain products. Yes, you definitely need those for sure. All right, I still haven't gotten this tabby. Why do you eat so much? Why? Why do you eat so much? I fed you so much. Good grief. Just like a cat. Not behave. I love cats, by the way, but, you know, they're a fun sort of challenge sometimes. All right. So thanks a bunch, everybody. And have a great day. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.